the United States of America, President Barack Obama.
Good to see you. I just want to say everybody back home, right back at you. We appreciate you. You always give us straight talk.
And welcome to Straight Talk. Well, today's Straight Talk is going to get into a little thing called business. Census taking. Census taking is a business. It's a business that creates some $675 billion annually. So to talk about that today, we have two very distinguished guests from the County of Cook, County Commissioners, Deborah and Stanley.
Thank you.
How you doing, guys?
We're fine. How are you?
I'm great. So listen, what's so great about the census? Why 2020 census is going to be so important to our people?
Well, 10 years ago we had an undercount. And so now we have an opportunity now to get it right. I'm glad that Stanley came today because for the county, Stanley is the census man. I mean, that we've labeled him that. It's his new title. His father before him was the census man, and so now he is the census man for the county. And he is trying to make sure that we get the message out and that we make sure that everybody is counted. So Stanley, let's enlighten WL on census.
Well, I want to thank you for bringing this topic up. It's very important. You just mentioned $675 billion. If you think about the U.S. government's budget, they spend $600 billion on all aspects of the military. The Marines, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. It costs $600 billion to run all of those entities. Well, the U.S. Census Bureau also is responsible for the allocation of $600 billion. So to put that into perspective, to not filling out that census form cost us about somewhere between $1,400 per person over a 10-year period. So that's $14,000 per person that does not fill out that form that leaves our community.
And when Stanley talks about the $14,000 per person, when people get that form in the mail and they don't fill it out, and we had an undercount last year, those are dollars that are not coming into the county. We're talking about roads and bridges. We're talking about infrastructure projects. If that money is not there, or even for us, is our programs like CDBG, which is Community Development Block Grant. We won't have enough money to go in communities like Robbins and Phoenix and Fort Heights. So it's important that we get out the numbers of the people that have to be counted. And there's a lot of people that, as African American, black folks, whichever one we want to be called, when something comes in the mail, we don't want to fill it out because we think it's people in our business. But it's important that people know, or that the government knows that you exist, so that we can get that $1,400.
Okay, we're going to take a break so that we can get it right sound on Stanley. We'll be right back after these messages.
Put your mic on.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him. Hi, I'm a warning sign. I let people know when they're... Oh, gotta go.
I'll be right back.
Hi.
Well, we are back, and I think, Stanley, you were going to make a comment.
So I want to first of all publicly thank President Brett Winkle and our President Pro Tem, Deborah Sims. They championed the first ever Cook County to put $4 million into the census effort in educating our population. So that $4 million and what we're doing with that $4 million is we're working with non-for-profits, churches, and social groups that are in the community who have feet on the ground, who are helping us to educate the population about the importance of being counted. And we're spending about $25,000 per group. So if you know of a non-for-profit group that can work with us to help us to count, educate hard-to-count communities, we're looking to work with them. Our application is on our website, and it's open for applying for right now. We have a couple months left, and we need as much help as we can get.
We probably need you to elaborate a little bit more on the hard to count people.
Yeah, so the Census Bureau typically calls hard to count people who traditionally do not fill out their census forms, or people who do not participate in surveys. So when the census sends out a form to your house and they don't fill out those forms, throughout the 10-year process, the census does all kinds of surveys. They delineate which population does not typically respond. So they call that, typically we see renters, who people often move a lot, children under 5, who are not particularly counted. You have African American, Latino, or non-English speaking communities. Typically we find hard to count populations there. But this is so important because this year has been like no other census that we've ever seen. They have not put the effort into going door to door, introducing the information, educating the population. It's been virtually kind of quiet, and it's right around the corner.
And one of the things that first they were talking about was putting whether you were a citizen on the census forms. Congress they revised that and they've taken that out. So people don't have to tell whether they're a citizen or not.
Really?
No, you don't have to state. As long as you are as of April 1st, that you are living in Cook County, you need to fill out that form to be counted.
And this time, we're seeing something that they've never done before, which they're asking people to fill out the form online. And I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people that don't trust putting their personal information on the internet.
Right.
And so getting a form, instead of getting it in the mail, getting it online and putting your personal information online has been a barrier to participation.
Okay. Well, tell me, how do citizens impact that $675 billion?
So every program that we have, the state, the city, the county, we receive federal dollars. And if those federal dollars are all based upon your population. So if you don't have the population or can't show the population, that money moves to a community that can show the population. And so we're concerned that the dollars that we have are based on our population numbers. If we don't participate, those dollars will move to a different community.
So it's based
Wow.
on population
Yes.
of the county, not whether you're a citizen or anything else. If you got a nephew who stays in your house on April 1st, if he's in your house or he's been there for a month and you've got that census form, you need to include him as
That's
a
true.
person that lives in your house.
That's something totally different now, because heretofore, there's a lot of people moves up from the south and move from other areas and come and stay with a relative, and they won't say they're
They have to be
Right.
counted because now they're here in Cook County.
right.
So they need, if they came from the south, if they came from wherever they
West
came
Hill.
from. Yeah, they need to be counted. Those dollars, that $1,400 that Stanley was talking about, we need that money. So we need you to fill out those forms so we have the money to do what we need to do for the people in Cook County.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
typically, that's how children get left out. Grandparents say, well, my wife and I, we own this house, so we'll fill out our census form, Josiah and my wife. But you forgot to talk about those 4 grandchildren that are staying with you and not staying with their parents. They're living in your house too. They need to be counted wherever they lay their head on April 1st. That's who should be counted in that household.
Well, in a lot of areas of our community, you have relatives coming up from the south or coming from other areas, and they're living with the relatives who have a limited space, and they can't let the landlord know that there's anyone living there.
Well, nobody's going to know that information but the census people. Nobody's going to know that you got 8 people in your house and the landlord says it's only supposed to be 4.
4, right.
Landlord won't know that. It's a privacy. What you put on that form doesn't go to anybody else but the census people. Nobody else is going to get that information.
No other department can access that information. It's called Title 13. So in other words, and this is a story that I recently heard when I was traveling, I was in Washington, D.C., there was a threat. Somebody actually wrote a threat against the president on one of the census forms and sent it in. Well, the census could not tell the FBI or Secret Service that there was a threat against the president's life because it was on that census form, and you
Wow.
would violate Title 13. That's how serious that is.
Wow. Man. Someone
This is serious.
threatened the president?
Yeah.
Yes.
The census is serious. And
Wow.
they're serious about keeping your personal business personal.
And see,
I'm glad that they are serious about getting a full count of people now. Because I can remember I had a girlfriend who was doing census taking, and she said her supervisor came up and said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm going taking census." She said, "I see you going to every house." She said, "Yeah." "No, I'll go to that first house, get it, and then guesstimate how many is in the middle and go to the last house."
no,
No,
you can't do that.
no, it has to be an accurate count. We want an accurate count. We want everybody. We can't stress that enough, that we need everybody to be counted. We need everybody to get that form. We need to know about every baby. If somebody, and correct me, Stan, if I'm wrong, if you pregnant and you go to the hospital on May 31st, you better count that baby
on April 1st.
Well,
That's right.
that's how, what I just said earlier, that's how they were able to say minority.
But you got to think
Yes.
about it. When Deborah and I go out and we speak to community groups, typically people are upset. There's not enough money for our schools. There's not enough money for our streets, our roads, our bridges. There's not enough money for all these different things. If that's currently the situation, and we go through this census, and we get even less money, whose fault is that? We have to participate. If we want to bring dollars into our community, we have to be a part of the process.
Well, you are a part of it. A part of it.
Your part.
A very small part of it.
That's true.
From, maybe what you're doing now will enhance all that. So let's talk about that. What are you doing to make it happen?
So, like I said, the president, the county board, and President Pro Tem, they have done an unprecedented effort. I don't think that there's any county in the country that can match what Cook County has done by putting $4 million aside for hard-to-count communities. They are opening up opportunities for people in the community to get out and educate populations of people that we can't reach. See, this year is going to be unique. The Census Bureau in the past has always put census takers on the street. They've hired thousands and thousands of people to go door to door in every community. Wherever you live, they hire people in your community. Well, they're under the guise now that brick and mortar no longer is effective. We want to use social media. We want to use Facebook. We want to use Instagram. We want to use. They think that you can go after this populations, but truth be told, our community still lacks access to internet, broadband internet, especially fast internet. And so if we don't have the capability to be able to fill out these forms online, we're facing a major undercount.
And with the enumerators, those are the people that help with the count. They'll be in places like libraries, and they'll be in most places that you would think that the hard to count people will come and socialize or come to the stores or whatever. There will be people out there trying to count those people.
Well, that's a big task that you guys are taking forward, and I admire you for taking the responsibility of making it happen.
And Stanley could tell you some of those communities that are hard to count are in our districts. So I think in mine it's Harvey, Robbins, Phoenix, Ford Heights.
Right.
The five communities in Dalton that we share, and some of the ones in yours are.
Yeah, so Burnham, Calumet City. I mean, we have hard to count populations all over. But that's the challenge. The challenge is getting to those populations and letting them know that the destiny is in your hands. Like I was at an event recently, and the guy got up and he said, the most important thing you can do in your life is to vote. And I said, I disagree with you. And he said, what? I said, the most important thing you can do in this lifetime is to be counted. Because if you don't vote this year, you can vote next year. But if you don't get counted this year, that's 10 years before you can be counted again. And I don't know about you, I don't have 10 years to wait.
What do you say?
He understood then.
Oh. But
So, WL, we need you and everybody else watching to get out there and talk about the census. Talk about how important it is for you to be counted. That's crucial.
how do you become a census taker?
So the census is hiring. It's census.gov. You go to their website. They're hiring census takers and enumerators online. Everything is online these days.
Everything is online.
Yeah, everything is online. Even with us, go to our Cook County website and go Cook County //census. You will see our application for census support for our RFP process.
Very good. Very good. Many of us don't have computers,
Yeah.
so we have to come to you.
No, that's where the enumerators come in.
Libraries too.
Libraries, they will come.
Right.
They will come to you. If you see somebody outside with a clipboard, and they will have on badges, so you know you will be able. They'll have IDs,
Yep.
so that you'll know that the people that are knocking on your door to tell you they're from the census, make sure you check ID.
You know, earlier we were talking about corporations and corporate citizens. Well, we have been asking a lot of these corporations to participate because this money leaving our community doesn't just affect us as a community, it affects the businesses. The businesses depend on our dollars to continue their work, like road construction. Mm-hmm. We're talking about electrical, asphalt. We're talking about sewer, water, and gutter. All these companies out here that depend on public dollars to do construction work and all the types of work, that is all impacted by this census effort. So it's not just the hard to count communities that are going to suffer. It's going to be everyone. It's going to impact everyone.
Not me.
It's going to affect you too.
I'm going to get my 1,400.
You're going to get your 14.
and maybe duplicate myself.
They're going to count you twice.
Yeah, count me twice.
We're talking about census, not voting.
Oh, we can't do that. But maybe Vince and I together can do it.
Yeah. So I want to thank you for having us on. It's very important that we get this message out while we still have an opportunity to put some money in the community and to get people to interact with us and help us to spread this message. We need as many people to apply as possible.
And maybe Commissioner Moore can get you some information, and as you talk up until April, that you can talk about census. So Stanley will get you some information, and anybody that comes to do your show, you can have them to take this information so they can take it back too. Because, even though this is a volunteer, it affects everybody. So we need everybody. I mean, everybody like yourselves and me and Stanley and Vince and Area, my chief of staff, and Jordan, who I'm surprised is not here tonight.
Right.
Jordan is also the census man. And everybody needs to be a part of this to get the word out, to talk about census as the coming months. I know Stan is going to eat, sleep, wake up, talk about census to everybody, and we're going to all do the same. So we'd like to incorporate you into that conversation too, to help us get out the word, because you have the ear to a lot of people and the visual to a lot of people, and people like you and people will hear you, and if you say it, people will take heed to what you're saying and fill out those census forms.
You got that, because I agree with you wholeheartedly. We need the money in the communities. I mean, we need the money in our county to help the communities.
That's right.
So we got to do it. We're going to take a little break. Remember, we have 2 commissioners here from the county of Cook. The President Pro Tem, and Stanley, what is your position?
Just regular old commissioner. This is the senior authority.
No, he is the chairman of the census. So don't let him fool you. He's chairman of quite a few committees, but he is chairman of the census.
Okay, and remember those names. Stanley Moore, Deborah Sims. Stanley Moore, Deborah Sims. Okay, we'll be right back after these medicines. Tropical World. Come to Golden's Tropical World for tropical fish of all sizes, colors, and types, and other small animals like iguanas and birds from all over the world. There are beautiful tanks, pet supply needs, including dog and cat foods, and expert consultation. Check out Golden's Tropical World, 8611 South Ashland Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Call ahead, 773-239-8809. Your pet shop.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just
Please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
No, I'm scared.
What's it like working with your family? Good question.
Right, great question. Original Soul Vegetarian was established over 38 years ago from our parents, so we're second generation owners.
Back then in the 80s, nobody knew what vegan looked like.
But if you say, oh, this is barbecue, they'll eat it and say, oh, it's good.
Original Soul Vegetarian has been an anchor in this community. At least 90% of our clientele aren't vegans.
It has helped the community a lot with being aware of healthy eating and healthier options.
Most of everything that we sell is sourced locally, and it's all made in-house because it's just not about food for us. Your health is your wealth. Just add something healthy to what you're eating. You're gonna feel better.
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Why? Why? Why are you following me? Why my hoodie make me look suspicious?
Why does my music make me dangerous?
Why are people that are supposed to protect me attacking me?
Why are you afraid of me? Why do you think I'm dangerous? Why do I afraid of people who are supposed to protect me?
Why can't I make a peace sign without you labeling a gang sign?
Why does standing your ground only work when I'm on the ground?
Why do you show this photo over this one?
Why do you only stop and frisk me?
Why do you have low expectations for me?
Why can't I run down the street without causing alarms?
Why do you think I'm a thug?
Why do you assume I'm armed? Why can I breathe? Why is my mom scared every time I leave the house?
Why are you targeting me?
Why am I a target?
Why?
Why? I know why. And it has to stop.
It must stop.
Because I have dreams. Because I can change the world.
Because I'll make a difference. Because I have a family. Because I am strong.
Because I'm talented.
I have a voice.
I can find a cure.
I have goals.
I can lead the country.
I am determined.
I have a future.
Because I'm a scholar.
I am powerful.
I'm someone's friend. I'm someone's brother.
I'm someone's son. Someone loves me.
And because my life matters too.
My life matters.
My life matters.
My life matters. My life matters. My life matters.
Our lives matter.
And so did theirs.
Every now and then I get that feeling, and I've got something I want to say.
One of the great things about being a vegan is that the uniqueness of it.
And I've got to say it my way.
And so gathered with me today are just a sampling of those vegans who have become loyal supporters of Soul Vegetarian.
Welcome to Soul Vegetarian Restaurant.
Okay, we're back. And Stanley, I really feel that you're going to do the right thing and make us rich. What can you do to expedite that?
Well, you know, one of the things that we forgot to bring up is we didn't get a chance to talk about how the census, once it's over, how it impacts the congressional, the state, the city, the counties, boundaries, districts. Because we potentially we know we're going to lose one congressional seat but we could possibly lose 2 congressional seats based on population. So the less representation we have in Washington, D.C., that's the less representation that we have to bring home dollars to our community. And we don't want to see any of our representation disappear.
As a representative from Cook County or state of Illinois?
All of the above, from the federal government on down to the city alderman.
Well, I think the most important part is that we will lose a congressman.
Yeah.
And when we talk about losing 2 congressmen, you know, I think that would affect Congressman Kelly.
That's right.
And it could affect Congressman Davis, and it could affect Congressman Rush. So those are, I mean, and when we talk about losing one of them, we're talking about people that are in leadership.
Absolutely.
So we can't afford to lose our, you know, our congressional leaders that are in leadership. That, you know, people may not understand that, but you talk about those are the people that look out for us in our districts.
Right.
So that's important. They know what's going on in our districts. They know the dollars that we need. So that's going to be crucial that, again, we need people to fill out those forms. We need them to understand we can't afford to lose not one of them.
Well, you're going to leave the information here with me, and we're going to talk about that for the rest of the year.
And also,
when will
Alderman
census
Moore
be
is
taken?
here, if I can say that. And when he comes up, you know, when we talk about the census, even though we talk about the census for Cook County, and I like to tell people this, and this is a jab at Alderman Moore, you know, the city of Chicago is in Cook County. So when we talk about the census, the county is doing the census for the county. The city is doing the census for the city. But we want the city to remember that they're in Cook County.
Right. So the
Didn't
governor.
say Cook County, I said
Cook County.
So the governor has also done something very unprecedented. He appointed he approached $29 million to educate the population about the importance of the census. The city of Chicago has also followed suit, and I think they're doing $2.7 million, and the county with our $4 million. So everybody's all in. And they've never had to do this before. In the past, we just depended on the Census Bureau to educate the population and count the population. This is the first time the city, the state, and the county have had to go into their purse and pull out money and put it on the table to get people to understand the importance of this subject.
And with the fact that nobody can question or see any identification or see anything dealing with the people who are registering, they don't have to be afraid.
No, because if they're afraid if somebody knocks on their door and they say that they're from the census, and they could tell them, get the information through your door and ask them, where can I go online to fill out my form? And you can go online and fill out that form. And also the committee that Stan chairs, there are also some other elected officials on that committee with him. You want to share who your partners are?
So the president has appointed myself, Cook County Commissioner Stanley Moore, Cook County Commissioner Dennis Deere, Cook County Commissioner Louis Arroyo, and Cook County Commissioner Alma Anaya to the commission. And then we have also on the commission, we have a litany of leaders from the community who sit on the commission to help us determine how best to reach the hard-to-count communities. And we meet once a month, and we go over the budgets, and we go over the non-for-profits and the philanthropic organizations that we're working with to get this message out onto the street.
And is your meeting an open meeting? So
It is an open meeting. It's open to the public. Anyone can attend. So it's very important that we get this message out. So I was just here looking. The first round of grant opportunities was October 1st. So that deadline has passed. The second round of grant opportunities will be January 1st. So you have to get that application into us before January 1st. And the third and final round will be April 1st, and that's Census Day.
So where do they get an application from? Can you tell them?
So our application will be on our website, and you can go to our website. It's cookcountygov.com. So that's Cook County, www.cookcountygov.com /census.
Okay.
And also, you didn't tell them how to reach you.
I can be reached at 312-603-6381, and that's my downtown office. My district office number is 708-371-4251.
Okay. Want to repeat the both again?
Downtown number is 312-603-6381. District office number is 708-371-4251.
And we're located at 118 North Clark on the 5th floor.
118 North Clark on the 5th floor. Tony's not there.
Yes, Tony is there. She's there a lot when she's not out in the...
I mean, she's her office.
Her office is on the same floor with us.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
We're right down the hall from her.
So all the county commissioners were shipped over to that building?
Well, we've all been there. We're all on the 5th floor on the county. People get confused. There's a county side of that building and a city side of the building. The Clark side is the county side, and the city side is Randolph and Washington?
Yeah, Washington.
Randolph and Washington. So if you're coming into the building on the Clark side, come up to the 5th floor, dial a number. It gives you the number to come in, where you can get into our offices, and somebody will come out and get you.
Great. You know, yeah, I'm familiar with that one. I've gone over to the Washington side, and it's hard to get in there, period.
You know, I want to make sure that I bring this back up because it's very important, and it came up during the break, is there's a lot of misinformation. People believe that they shouldn't participate for various reasons. What I'm here to tell you is just the opposite. If you don't participate, that money that you could have gotten for your community is moved to another community that did participate.
Well, let's tell it like it is. If the African American community doesn't come out and fill out those forms, then the money that we will lose will go to other communities.
That's right.
And we want to make that clear because we talk about what's not happening in our community, and we want to make sure that if we don't participate, what is it? What do they say? If you don't play the lottery, if you don't play,
you can't win.
You can't win.
Right.
If we don't fill out the forms,
you don't count.
You don't count.
Well, I think you guys heard the message, right? Good message that will enhance our communities. If people knew how many of us lived in this city of Chicago, we wouldn't be in the predicament we are in now. Well, we got Lori Lightfoot, so it makes it it makes it better. But over the years, minority, that's baloney. We've been the majority of this city for the last 50 years or longer.
You know, WL, they keep saying that we're losing population. I'm not so sure we're losing population.
No.
I think because of the last census that people were not counted. I'm not saying we didn't lose some. Yeah, I believe we lost, but not as much as they're claiming.
Right.
That we lost. Because just like, you know, times are hard, as you said in the beginning. Families are more families are one house, 2 and 3 families are living in those houses. You got one house, it looks like it's a single family. You got aunties and uncles living in the basement on the 2nd floor. So I believe that the only way that we can prove that what they're saying is not true is that we all fill out those forms and be counted.
Yeah, we can't let people trick you and make you think that it's not important. Right. And that's why we keep saying it over and over again until it sinks in. I learned something when I was out campaigning. People say they won't remember your name unless they hear it 10 times. So I'm going to keep saying it's important that you're counted, and counted.
By Stanley. Okay, guys. I appreciate you coming and sharing that with us. And don't let that be the last time. Let's do it up until the election.
Thank you.
We'll be happy to
we'll
do
keep
that.
pushing it. We'll keep pushing it.
And Stanley will get you some information, so if you want to put it on your commercials, and we'd appreciate that.
In fact, we'll do a commercial.
Okay.
We'll do a commercial.
All right.
That sounds like a great idea.
Right. Put it on.
Okay.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you.
WL, don't kiss my hand. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, guys. We'll be back after these messages.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right.
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him. Hi, I'm a warning sign. I let people know when they're... Oh, gotta go.
I'll be right back.
Hi.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just
Please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
No, I'm scared. Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
Tropical World. Come to Golden's Tropical World for tropical fish of all sizes, colors, and types, and other small animals like iguanas and birds from all over the world. There are beautiful tanks, pet supply needs, including dog and cat foods, and expert consultation. Check out Golden's Tropical World, 8611 South Ashland Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Call ahead, 773-239-8809. Your pet shop.
Every now and then I get that feeling, and I've got something I want to say.
One of the great things about being a vegan is that the uniqueness of it.
And I've got to say it my way.
And so gathered with me today just a sampling of those vegans who have become loyal supporters of Soul Vegetarian.
Welcome to Soul Vegetarian Restaurant.
Tropical World. Come to Golden's Tropical World for tropical fish of all sizes, colors, and types, and other small animals like iguanas and birds from all over the world. There are beautiful tanks, pet supply needs, including dog and cat foods, and expert consultation. Check out Golden's Tropical World, 8611 South Ashland Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Call ahead, 773-239-8809. Your Pet Shop.
Why? Why? Why are you following me? Why my hoodie make me look suspicious?
Why does my music make me dangerous?
Why are people that are supposed to protect me attacking me?
Why are you afraid of me? Why do you think I'm dangerous? Why do I afraid of people who are supposed to protect me?
Why can't I make a peace sign without you labeling the gang sign?
Why does standing your ground only work when I'm on the ground?
Why do you show this photo over this one?
Why do you only stop and frisk me?
Why do you have low expectations for me?
Why can't I run down the street without causing alarms?
Why do you think I'm a thug?
Why do you assume I'm armed? Why can I breathe? Why is my mom scared every time I leave the house?
Why are you targeting me?
Why am I a target? Why? 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 I know why. And it has to stop. It must stop.
Because I have dreams. Because I can change the world.
Because I will make a difference. Because I have a family. Because I am strong.
Because I'm talented.
I have a voice.
I can find a cure.
I have goals.
I can lead the country.
I am determined.
I have a future.
Because I'm a scholar.
I am powerful.
I'm someone's friend.
I'm someone's brother.
I'm someone's son. Someone loves me.
And because my life matters too.
My life matters.
My life matters.
My life matters. My life matters. My life matters.
Our lives matter.
And so did theirs.
What's it like working with your family? Good question.
Right, great question. Original Soul Vegetarian was established over 38 years ago from our parents, so we're second generation owners.
Back then in the 80s, nobody knew what vegan looked like.
But if you say, oh, this is barbecue, they'll eat it and say, oh, it's good.
Original Soul Vegetarian has been an anchor in this community. At least 90% of our clientele aren't vegans.
It has helped the community a lot with being aware of healthy eating and healthier options.
Most of everything that we sell is sourced locally, and it's all made in-house. because it's just not about food for us. Your health is your wealth. Just add something healthy to what you're eating. You're gonna feel better.
Yeah, no. I'm telling
Okay,
him.
we're back, and our guest now is the alderman of the, what ward is that? 17th Ward, Alderman David Moore.
How you doing?
David?
I'm great. I'm great.
Good to have you on the show.
Always glad to be here.
You was here when you were trying to become an alderman.
Absolutely.
And you made it.
Absolutely.
And you're doing a good job.
Thank you.
From what I
Thank you.
understand. And,
I've been back here since then, though.
I know.
Twice.
I know.
But this was one of the starts. You were one of the first people that was with me, though.
Right on.
When I was running, and I appreciate that, and I never forget that.
Well,
Miss my brother, brother Manir Muhammad as well. You know.
Oh man,
you
I
two
missed
guys,
you. I really missed
man.
that
I'm
guy.
telling you, helped me get the message out, but also fed into my spirit, man. And I mean that. You know. And you feeding to me today, 83 years old. Got a rock hard stomach, man, doing exercise and standing on your head. You gonna shame me, man. I gotta get out there and get this stuff together.
Okay. Well, listen. Let's talk about some of the things. You know, you're the alderman of the 17th Ward. The 17th Ward consists of
Inglewood,
right,
West Inglewood,
right,
West Chatham, Auburn Gresham, and Chicago Lawn. 5 community areas.
One of them is most dangerous in the city, allegedly.
Allegedly,
right?
But which is not. But we have some issues. We have some great residents that live there, and the issues that we have are few. It's just a few of all the residents. Less than probably 1% make up the issues that we have. But I got to give, since we're talking about this, a big shout out to 6th, 7th, and 8th District police. Not only for focusing more on community engagement instead of just community policing, we've had a reduction, and so I'm excited about that. You know.
Let's see, without sounding racist, I think we should have a diverse police department. What I mean by diverse is the majority of the police in this black community should be black. Majority of the policemen in the Hispanic community should be Hispanic. The majority of the policemen in the white community are white.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think even the mayor has said that. Even the superintendent, we just met with him the other day, said that we have to get more people to want to apply and more people to want to be police officers.
Yeah, but they could want to apply and want to be a police officer. They'll find a reason.
You know what? It
to
used
kick
to
them
be.
out.
No. It used to be that way. WL, I'll be very honest with you.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I have no doubt it used to be that way back in the day.
Uh-huh.
You have people that are black running the training program. And a lot of people, and they're telling people what they need to do. And we've had more black people through the messaging, through the marketing, and through the program that have gone in than that have in recent years. And so we have to continue to get people to apply. There's on where people get disqualified at, they people usually say on the psychological test, that's distributed evenly across.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just have to continue to get young men who want to be police officers who don't have backgrounds, young men and women at that, to get in. Trust me, they're getting much better at it. And we have to have the more numbers continue to apply. And I challenge, and I say it on here, because I had an issue before, and then I had to address it, not because the person was discriminated against, because that person didn't do a certain thing. And so I always go back and say and find out. Just don't not get selected and leave. Know why you didn't get selected. And then when you do that, come to me, come to your alderman, and say, they're telling me this is the reason why I didn't get selected. Okay, now let's correct this. You go back and let's see what happens then.
Right, right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
And we stand with them because there was a situation where that happened to someone. It was an issue that they had about the marijuana. You cannot, and people don't want to lie on their application.
Right.
And you cannot have smoked marijuana, I think, within the past 3 years or something like that of applying for the police department. And this person had applied and they never heard back, and they smoked some marijuana and they got a call from, really, true story, got a call from the police and they put on their application. Now, it wasn't in their system any longer, but they asked a question, had you smoked marijuana? And the person didn't want to lie on their application. And so that's what disqualified them. And when we got the answer to that, because they didn't know that was what disqualified them. They don't always tell you. They just said you're disqualified. When we got to where they got disqualified, we said, okay, let's correct this. Let's go back. They corrected it, went back.
You got the
Black
job.
man police officer. True story, WL.
Well, you know, Arenda's son was given a lot of flack.
What's
before-
that?
Arenda Troutman.
Okay.
Her son was given a lot of flack before he finally made it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, first they denied him for some reason, blah, 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 blah. And then, but he was persistent. You know, I'm qualified and I'm not a criminal. Don't have anything against it. I don't smoke marijuana. I don't
Right.
drink alcohol. So he continued until he got the job.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm just encouraging people out there, if they feel that they're going through the process, you're not by yourself. Don't feel like if you don't get selected, I'm gonna just give up. No, come and see me. Come and see your alderman, and say this is what happened. They didn't tell me why. They just let me go or whatever. If that happens, we'll find out why. We'll correct it and we'll go back through and we'll watch and monitor it. Absolutely.
So another friend of mine who I helped him get into the sheriff department, and he decided to leave the sheriff department and go to the Chicago police,
Mm-hmm.
took the exam, passed it, but did him the same way.
Right.
They even kicked him out of the school for some reason. But
Well, they'll kick you out in a minute. Not to say in a minute, but if on that exercise thing, the guys tell me, guys that I know that have made it, you don't hit those push-ups and that physical part right, that same day.
But I could say he was one of my students, one of my yoga students.
Your yoga students, okay, okay.
So I knew he had
the physical part,
right down pat.
Yeah.
So therefore, he continued to push it until they put him on the board.
Board, okay.
Yeah. So he and
Well, that was back in what? How long ago was that?
what? They graduated. He graduated along with Arenda's son about 2 months ago.
Okay, all right. Okay. Both of them got on. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That was their second try or their first? That was their second try?
No, they didn't try. They just continued pushing
No.
the application.
But I'm saying,
You mean in school?
no. Well, how many times did they go through the process?
I don't know how many times they went through the process.
Yeah, I doubt if they went through more than twice. Yeah, I doubt if they went through more than twice. Yeah, because once you out,
I think it was just one thing. It was one thing that they were hopping on for each one of these guys. But that doesn't affect me. I don't know what you're talking about. So finally they caved in and gave him the job.
Because if you're out the program, you got to reapply and start all over.
This guy didn't.
So then they wasn't out. They were just probably telling them they needed to improve on something.
No, but the one was in class, in a class before Arinda's son. He was in class, and for some reason they kicked him out. Like you said, it may have been from push-ups or whatever it was, but he was persistent. He kept going back until they took him.
Well, so he went back and reapplied again.
No, he didn't have to reapply again.
He would have had to. Once you get kicked out, you got to start it all over again. But he's not here, so we don't know. We'll figure that out, though.
Yeah.
But I just want to let.
But
my thing is, I just want to let people know we have good people at the training academy. There's been a focus. Honestly, even before Mayor Lightfoot got in, there was a focus, and it's even more so a focus with her in there. And so, if people think they're having issues, let us know. But I'm telling people to apply when they open up. Apply when they open.
And as many blacks as we have in this city, you got to have at least enough to make it half the department by applying.
Yeah.
You have the educational abilities, you have the physical abilities, and apply for the job.
Yep.
You don't have criminal records.
And that's what we got to tell people. Some people just don't want to be police officers.
I understand that.
Man.
I understand that.
But we got to tell people, in order to change your community, you have to be that change. You have to be willing to be that change. You know, people like, as an alderman, you 24/7. You people. Sometimes it's a thankless job. They say people fuss you out for things that's not your problem. You know, we get everything from federal government issues all the way down to the cat or squirrel getting ran over on the street. And so, but I don't say, hey, that's not my issue, call Congressman Rush, or that's not my issue, call Cook County Commissioner Dennis Deere, or that's not my issue, call Dick Durbin, or that's not my issue, call State Senator Jackie Collins. We handle those issues, and if we have to direct them to their office, we direct them in a way that we connect them with someone, not saying, hey, it's not my issue, call somebody else. And so we handle a myriad of issues, but that's because I wanted to be the change. And so in order for you to effectuate change, you have to be the change.
I agree 100%. You know, what do you see as a good corporate citizen?
The corporate citizen, man, one that invests back in the community from a development standpoint, first and foremost. First and foremost. If you're not reinvesting to create more jobs, that's not a good.
Then you're not a good corporate citizen.
Not to me.
And
then the second part is the philanthropy part. Most corporations focus just on the philanthropy part. We did a cleanup, or we gave $10,000 to this. We did. Hey, you writing that off anyway.
What about you're in a black community?
Huh?
What about you're in a black community and you don't have black employees?
That's an issue, and we're not faced with that with what we call major chains. So when you got stores, smaller stores, sometimes they tend to do that. But most of our stores, believe it or not, even your small foreign stores, usually three employees, they have one black person in there working.
I haven't seen many. You're right.
Yeah,
One.
They get, but those are smaller stores, usually family-owned type of deal. Even the Dunkin' Donuts, who have majority Indian people, they're going to have one or two black people, or whatever community they're in, somebody representative of that community working in there.
But they don't live in the community.
In some cases, they do. In some cases, you talking about the Indian or the African American that's working there?
No, I'm talking about the Indian.
No, they don't live in the community.
Right. So
No.
I'm saying you have foreigners who come in, open businesses, and bring in all their relatives and friends and whatnot, and they make money in our community.
Yeah, but what I've learned about that, WL, and I'm just being very honest as an alderman, find me some operators. Number one, anytime you open a business, I'm not saying, because we don't have a lot of access to big capital, right? Let's be real about that. But if I'm going to start a business, I'm coming to the table with something. Something. And I'm not going to go so far over my head. So if I want to start a business and this business is going to cost me $30,000 to get started, at least I better come with the table with $5,000. Do you understand what I'm saying? Even if I don't come in with half, come in with $5,000. If you come in with $5,000, because you got to put some skin in the game. Got to put some. That's on anything. You got to put some skin in the game, because when you don't have any skin in the game, sometimes people is not as passionate about it or care about it versus when they have some skin in the game. So when I'm a $30,000 business, this is what it's going to cost me to start operating. You come in with 5, as an alderman, by hook or crook, we're going to find that other 25. But part of the issue is that, one, we don't have enough operators, and two, when you do find someone who may be an operator, they're not coming in with that skin in the game or coming in prepared. And we'll even help people get prepared. You know, there's things about people not only starting business plans, but how to really run and operate a business. I had a business close to my ward, can kick butt, but didn't know how to do the finances.
Well, see,
and all that has to be taught, but people got to be willing to know what their shortcomings are and get those assistance, because there's programs that get money from the federal government, from the federal government, from state government, even from city, and then even from some of your organizations or foundations like MacArthur Foundation and things like that, that give certain agencies these dollars to do those things. And so you have to make sure you know your shortcomings, and then we have to connect to make sure you get there.
Well, see, that sounds good, but it's some other components attached to that. For instance, an entrepreneur like myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm born entrepreneur. You know, I started my first business when I was 6 years old.
What were you doing at 6?
Selling water.
Selling water.
In Mississippi.
But they didn't have bottled water then, did they?
No. See, I lived in Memphis, Tennessee, and my great-grandmother would go downtown to Memphis and get a bus to Mississippi. You know, they had buses taking day workers to Mississippi and Arkansas, because, you know, Memphis is right between the two.
Absolutely.
So I went with my grandmother, and I saw people working, dragging a bag, you know, cotton sack, and wow, it looked like hard work. And then at the end of that day, this one guy came back to the bus, and he said, "Man, this is my last day working over here, my last week working over here." He said, "I would have been here a month. At the end of this week, I'll be here a whole month, and I haven't made $3 yet." He said, "That's ridiculous. You're going to work all day and can't make $3. So I said, okay. As I saw him put his bag down at least 5 times and walk for water. So I asked if I could bring my wagon the next day, and he said, the driver said, "Yeah, boy, but make sure you push it under the seat real good so nobody will stumble over it." I said, "Okay. You need something to play with." I said, "Okay, play." I took that wagon and put 2 big buckets of water on it, pulled it through the field all day.
All day.
And the guy come back down the street that night, he come back skipping down there. Hey, I made over $3. I made $3.25. That little boy brought me water all day long. And I said, wait a minute now. He said $3.25. I said, he gave me at least 30 cents for water. so I said, okay. He didn't make but $2.99,
Right.
$2.95. So I said, but I'm not going to tell him.
Tell him that, right? He netted that, right?
But anyway, he was happy. So, but then he stopped. He said, but that little old boy made 3-4 times more than me. I said, damn. I said, he can't even count. Because I made $18.
Ooh-wee. Serving up everybody, huh?
I made $18 selling water, and he made $2.75. So he said 3 or 4 times more.
Wow. Wow. That's good business, man.
Yeah, but see, from there, you know, all my life was entrepreneurship, even though I had law enforcement in my head. You know, I had to be in law enforcement. I was captain of police in Phoenix, actually acting chief. I was chief because the mayor said, okay, he's captain, but he's the highest ranking officer in the department. We don't have a chief, so he's chief anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So the board would not sign for me to become chief.
Chief, wow.
But the mayor said he's chief anyway. He's going to get paid as a chief. He don't need a new star. So reason being, I had arrested the head trustee. And the head trustee would not allow his people to... But we became good friends after.
Who, you the trustee?
Later, huh?
The unit trustee?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because he was a good guy, but just he was the head of the mafia. You see, the mayor called me in. I was in Robbins first. The mayor recruited me. I was in Vice in Robbins. The mayor recruited me over to be to head a Vice squad in Phoenix. He said, I want this town cleaned up. He said, you got too much stuff going on around here. And he said, I didn't become mayor for this. I said, okay. I said, you got it. So I went undercover. Found out all the over houses, the dope houses, gambling parlors. I found out all that stuff, you know. Then finally, I said, okay, everybody knew me now because I carried a gun down in my belt in the front, you know, looked like a gangster. So I said, everybody know me now.
Did you cover it up or you had it showing?
It was covered, but, you know, I had my
coat. You
coat.
can see the bulge, huh?
Yeah, I had my coat, and then when I opened up my coat to gamble with them, they see the gun. So when I figured I had everything together, I knew where everything was. I said, we're going to have I want you to come. I told the lieutenant, I said, I don't know these people so well. I said, so pick me a good team of policemen, and I want you all to raid the gambling joint. And from there, we just started doing raid. I'm going to give you all the joints to raid. I said, but I'm going to be in each one. I said, now the person, when you come, everybody doesn't know I carry a gun. So find a gun on me and then put handcuffs on me and take me out. We're going to take him and send him to county jail because he's got a felony.
Wow.
You know, we said felony. It wasn't a felony. But,
right.
So they took me downstairs. They were supposed to take me downstairs, put me in a squad car, and take me to Cook County. But meanwhile, I go home, you know. But instead, this guy came up. I told him, I said, be sure when you're surfing, I'll be sure you find that gun. They all said, okay. They came up, police, everybody get up against the wall. We all got up against the wall. And the guy came over and started searching. And the guy that searched me, he felt the gun and kept on searching and went to the next guy. I said, this damn fool. So what the hell did he do? So I said, okay. When he got away, I told the guy next to me, I said, hey, man, I just got in and find my gun. What should I do? He said, don't come close to me because I got a felony. I can't afford to be near a gun. I can't afford
So the other guy really had a felony, huh?
Yeah. He said, I can't afford to be near a gun now. He said, just stay over there, man. I said, what should I do, man? He said, well, when they take you downstairs, just stuff the gun down in the back seat. Just stuff it down in the back seat. I said, okay, that's a good idea. So we stuffed it down in the back seat. When I got down there, when I got into the room, we got into the station. They set me down. I could hear the guys in the back talking. They said, man, you know, they got carry a gun. And they didn't take that gun. He's the police. He said, yeah, what we gonna do with him? When he comes back here, say, you know, meddling, talking about he's a gambler or whatever he does, he said, we'll get him. I'm gonna kick him, I'm gonna do this, that, and the other. I said, okay, the cat's out the bag. So I called one of the officers. I said, give me my stuff out of the bottom there, and give me my gun. But I had the guy told, when he came out, I told him to go out and get my gun out of the back seat, just in case. Mm-hmm. So he got that. I said, give me my gun. I said, now, better hold the gun. Give me the keys to the back. So I went back in the back with the cell. I said, okay, I'm here now, guys. I said, which one of you all wanted to beat me up and find out who I am? All heads went down. I said, don't chicken out now. I said, I just heard you say what you were going to do to me when I come back here. I'm back here now for that. Nobody said anything. I said, okay, go on, have it your way. Chicken.
But they knew you were police, though.
Yeah, they had to know that. You know, the guy searched me and all around, and that big gun sitting up front, and he walks over. But anyway, we ended up cleaning up the apartment. We cleaned up the whole thing. And what would you like to leave the audience with? That was my story.
No, man. You know, I just appreciate this time with you. One of the things Reverend Evans always talked with me, anytime you get a chance, sit down with people of wisdom. You always gonna learn something.
Yeah.
And I promise you, every time I sit with you, I learn something. And all I can tell people as we get in and go into this election season, it's very important not only that you vote, but during this time that we're coming up in 2020 is the census. And the county is involved, the city is involved, the state is involved, but we got to be counted.
Right.
We have to be counted.
Right.
And our city put in $2.7 million to work on their complete count. The county put in, I forgot how much they put in. It was a nice portion. The state put in a nice portion, but that's divvied along the state. But if we're not counted, then one, we lose money coming here to Illinois.
But we're out of time now, so
okay.
We're going to have you back.
All right.
Coming back when you get ready.
All right.
Let me know.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll see you this time again tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining us.